Good evening. It's scripture reading time. Okay, tonight, well, what is it? Now it's 3:40 a.m. in the morning. It was Thursday, now it's Friday. But I have to do this scripture reading for you guys. This way we both get our scripture reading in and we can all hear the word. Okay, now I pray that the word of the Lord will speak to your heart and guide you every day of your life. Okay. In the beginning, God created. Oh, yes, Genesis 1. In the beginning, God created the sky and the earth. Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you. This is New Century Version because it flows better. I just tried reading the New King James Version, and they kept saying the firmament like so many times. So, okay, here we go. Genesis 1. In the beginning, God created the sky and the earth. The earth was empty and had no form. Darkness covered the ocean, and God's Spirit was moving over the water. Then God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. God saw that the light was good, so he divided the light from the darkness. God named the light day, and the darkness night. Evening passed, and the morning came. This was the first day. Then God said, "Let there be something to divide the water in two." So God made the air and placed some of the water above the air and some below it. God named the air sky. Evening passed and morning came. This was the second day. Then God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered together so the dry land will appear." And it happened. God named the dry land earth, and the water that was gathered together seas. God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the earth produce plants, some to make grain for seeds, and others to make fruits with seeds in them. Every seed will produce more of its own kind of plant." And it happened. The earth produced plants with grain for seeds, and the trees that made fruits with seeds in them. Each seed grew its own kind of plant. God saw that all this was good. Evening passed, and morning came. This was the third day. Then God said, "Let there be lights in the sky to separate day from night. These lights will be used for signs, seasons, days, and years. They will be in the sky to give light to the earth." And it happened. So God made the two large lights. He made the brighter light to rule the day, and made the smaller light to rule the night. He also made the stars. God put all these in the sky to shine on the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that all these things were good. Evening passed, and morning came. This was the fourth day. Bloody, this heat is hot. Mother, Grace. Ah! It was like kind of cold out, so. Then God said, "Let the water be filled with living creatures, and let birds fly in the air above the water." Above the earth. Sorry, it's getting late. I'm supposed to be going to bed. So God created the large sea animals and every living thing that moves in the sea. The sea is filled with these living things, with each one producing more of its own kind. He also made every bird that flies, and each bird produced more of its own kind. God saw that it was good. God blessed them and said, "Have many young ones so that you may grow in number. Fill the water of the seas, and let the birds grow in the number on the earth." Evening passed, and morning came. This was the fifth day. Then God said, "Let the earth be filled with animals, each producing more of its own kind. Let there be tame animals, and small crawling animals, and wild animals, and let each produce more of its kind." And it happened. So God made the wild animals, the tame animals, and all the small crawling animals to produce more of their own kind. God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make human beings in our image and likeness, and let them rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the tame animals, over all the earth, and over all the small crawling animals on the earth." So God created humans, beings in his image. In the image of God, he created many children and grow in number. Fill the earth and be its master. Oh, oops, I skipped a part there. Back to 27. So God created human beings in his image. In the image of God, he created them. He created them male and female. God blessed them and said, "Have many children and grow in number. Fill the earth and be its master. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky and every living thing that moves on the earth." God said, "Look, I have given you all the plants that have grain for seeds, and all the trees whose fruits have seed in them. They will be food for you. I have given all the green plants as food for every wild animal, every bird of the air, and every small crawling animal." And it happened. God looked at everything he had made, and it was very good. Evening passed, and morning came. This was the sixth day. Now let's do. I'll, I will start Genesis 2, just a little bit. So the sky, the earth, and all that filled them were finished. By the seventh day, God finished the work he had been doing. So he rested from all his work. God blessed the seventh day and made it holy. He made it a holy day, because on that day he rested from all the work he had done in creating the world. That was great. For some reason, I don't understand that. Okay, well, good night, everybody. I'm going to bed. Now I only took about 5 minutes, right? It's 3:50 now, so okay. Good night. May the Lord bless you and keep you safe. And don't forget the words that we spoke today, because that is the word of the Lord. Good night.